My name's Jordan, and this is Seth. And together we've been living aboard our 32-foot sailboat since 2020 in the beautiful waters of Nova Scotia. Currently we're sailing south to the Caribbean, so if you're into sailing videos or life aboard, click that subscribe button, and thank you for your support. After 5 days in a home, we're now leaving Cape May for the canal. It feels weird because we haven't even been on the boat. I have a pit in my stomach. I'm a little nervous. Because yeah, it feels like we're out of the rhythm of it all. And here we're going back in, so hopefully all goes smoothly today. We decided to head through the Cape May Canal to avoid having to go out and around the point. Our sailboat measures 46 feet from the waterline to the top of the mast, so these bridges felt kind of close at 55 feet in height. Oh my, that looks sketchy. Definitely enough space, but it looks close. There are 2 fixed bridges and 1 railway bridge, which is not operational and always in the open position. I think we're alright. It looks sketchy. Well, that is pretty cool.
Looks like a nice hit.
It looks pretty close underneath. Nah, it's plenty of room. It looks like. Woo! Through! Ideally, we would have sailed the Virginia coast, but there just wasn't a good weather window for it. And by the time there was, we would have made it there anyway, just by going through the C&D Canal earlier. So we figured we might as well get a move on now. The entrance to the bay was a bit rolly, and it's not somewhere that I'd want our engine to fail. It never looks as bad in the videos as it feels in real life. I remember feeling kind of scared going through here and that we were close to shore, but yeah, it just doesn't look that bad in the video. Getting close to the exit here, and then we're gonna sail out, so been nervous for the wind we're about to face when we leave. Gusting 25 knots this morning. It's just getting out of the groove and trying to get back into the groove again, really. That's it.
The Coast Guard flotilla, they do a little loop.
No, they're still going down.
Okay.
Looks like the ferry's coming back. Bald eagle, it's a sign of good luck. We had a couple bags of candy from the Cape May Christmas parade that gave us our fuel for the day, but since we picked it all off the ground when the parade was over and cars had already driven over them, a lot of the candy was broken. Friend, I got a warhead here from last night's Christmas parade in Cape May. Ooh! Not bad. We are motor sailing because we were just gonna go anchor up in Cahantsy River today, which is about 35 nautical miles from when we first started. However, the tide or the current is going with us and we're making good time, 6 to 7 knots, so we might push it a bit today and see if we can get as far as this little island. I forget the name, but it's just a bit south from the entrance of the canal, so we can have an early morning tomorrow and make good time with the currents in the morning. We have a double reef and the jib is not unfurled all the way. However, we're making good speed and I don't really care.
Yeah, I'm very happy to be at this point in the sail where we're coming up to Delaware Bay. All our open ocean stuff is pretty much done until we cross down in Florida. So yeah, no, I'm just kind of in a more relaxed state when we're going. So yeah, we're looking at a day in the Delaware Bay. We'll probably get through the canal tomorrow. Then we'll be in Chesapeake Bay.
It's gonna rain tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll rain tomorrow, but what can you do?
Can you lower it?
Organized. That gum lost its flavor in 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's not very good.
2 seconds lost its flavor. Good thing it was a free piece of gum that I found on the ground.
Coming back from a little self-care, although I probably look worse in the camera, but I have 2 pimple stickers on, which should help. I have a hat, and underneath that hat, a fresh brushed hair. Brushed it, felt the massage of the scalp, and then I brushed my teeth from all the candy we've been eating. Gonna take Gravel, a ginger one, just for these rollies.
You want to smell it?
It says on our windy app that we should be experiencing 13 knots of wind gusting 17 southwest in direction. If you look at our chart plotter, getting 3 knots of wind. A little more now. So, really not much wind. We ended up anchoring near Reedy Island. On avionics, the anchorage is called Reedy Island South, and we approached it from the south and around the dike. There's a marked opening in the middle of the dike that you can use as well, but it looked a bit tight, and I don't think I'd want to try to navigate that through the night. There were comments on avionics mentioning one of the lights on the markers not working, and when we were there, only the light on the red marker was working. It is the morning time, just 10 after 6, still dark outside. Just started up the engine. We're about 15 nautical miles from the first anchorage within the canal. The canal current is going in our favor until 9, so we kind of want to get a move on. And it's going to rain at 10 today, so we're just going to tuck in there for the day. Tomorrow will be sunny, we'll make more progress, and we'll only have 10 nautical miles left of the canal to do tomorrow. So, Seth's making coffee. And we've been used to sleeping in a warm, comfy bed. And even without the wind last night, I still didn't sleep great. Yeah. I was pain in my chest. It's freaking me out. I hope I don't have a heart attack. Yeah, so we're gonna get underway soon. My ears itchy.
Holy shit.
Holy
shit. It's coming in too. That sucks.
Oh, into the canal.
My Gauffin always goes to
Doing almost 7 knots, which is pretty fast. Because he's going with the current as well. Oh boy, bunch of ships. What are these guys? Probably makes sense that there's a lot of boat traffic. Oh, I don't see them. And we are off. Seth just hauled up anchor. Sun is still starting to rise, and I'm gonna try to navigate.
Glad we got out of bed when we did. Missed this beautiful sunrise.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. Not the golden land, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like a tree. Country road,
Take me home
to the place I belong, West Virginia,
Mountain Mama,
take me
home.
country road.
I like that stuff.
Okay, let's plow through the rocks. There's just a little bit of a gap here that we can get through. Nothing marked, but on either side it's shallow. It's kind of weird because there's a red light there and a green light. Almost makes it feel like you could go right through it. You know?
Thank God for the chart plotter.
I hear her voice in the morning as she comes. Radio reminds me of my home far away. We were lucky that none of those ships spotted on AIS were using the canal, so we had it all to ourselves. Delaware Bay, thank you for your courtesies.
Yes. Courtesy.
Well said, Bugs. Okay.
Well said indeed. Onward to Chesapeake.
The current can reach between 4 and 5 knots in some sections of the canal during peak tidal flows, so you want to time it right. This here is the first bridge, Reedy Point Bridge at 136 feet. It's a bird! Aww. Next is St. George's Bridge at 137 feet, and then Chesapeake Delaware Canal Bridge at 142 feet. So far, if you're a sailor, these bridges don't cause any issues. The next bridge is the Corn Rail Chesapeake Delaware Canal Lift Bridge. It's 138 feet when it's open and 45 feet when it's closed. On Navionics, there's comments that the bridge tender receives a 30-minute heads up for any railway crossings, and you can reach them on channel 13. Here's the Summit Bridge at 131 feet, and then the Chesapeake City Bridge at 140 feet. We chose to anchor just before the bridge in an anchorage called Chesapeake City on Navionics. You can only anchor in there up to 72 hours. There is a shoaling to be aware of at the entrance. It was last dredged in the winter of 2024. However, we did notice that the depth dropped from 9 feet under our keel to 2 feet pretty quick, and we draw 4'9". Once inside the anchorage though, there's plenty of depth. Want me to go reverse? According to a quick Google search, geese in flight are called a skein, and in the water or on land we call them a gaggle. This was a big old skein that turned into a gaggle pretty quick. Our fellow Canadians are clearly just as slow getting south as we are. place was decorated with Christmas lights, which was lovely. Nice little anchorage. If you enjoyed this week's episode, please give it a thumbs up and stay tuned for next week's episode on Friday when we continue further south.